And when Nikki Haley said you don't want Black kids to feel inferior if you teach them
do you think for a moment that Jewish children feel inferior when you talk about their Holocaust?
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. And here's the reality. They really don't. My niece did some research working with white children in Oregon and telling stories about the history. And basically, she would ask them questions afterwards, like, why do you think Thomas Jefferson said, that Black people were not smart and incapable of being creative and artistic? Why do you think he did that? These are sixth grade white kids, upper middle class. They went. One kid just said he's racist. That was one of the reasons. Another one said, well, it's easy to objectify people when you see them, believe them to be lesser than you. Another student said, well, if people believed that Black people were creative and smart, then they probably wouldn't want to enslave them. And that would lose him money and a whole lot of people, enslaved people. These were not children cowering in the corner saying, oh my God, I'm just so upset. They're not upset. It's that reality that they don't want their children to get to, not the other. And we bought it. We just went, okay, really? Stories are too terrible? Then don't read the Bible. Come on, the stories in the Bible. Are you serious?
Right.
But it's, again, it's like we become part of the people. What is the quote? It said the people are wrapped in a strange sleep. We begin to believe the emperor has clothes on. And we having conversations about how naked he is.
That's right.
But everybody's saying, well, look at how fine the clothes. And I'm looking around going, is it just me? Is it just me that notices that the emperor is naked? And for me, I think, at 67, at this age, I'm my goal, and I think we talked about it, is I'm looking for the children. They're the ones that we're passing the baton to. They're the ones that are going to hit the tape. And they don't know there's a race. So we've got to educate, uplift. And again, I say that when you ask me, what do we do with all the stuff that we know is happening right now? The moment they knew, they stood up. A week later, that little bit that Dr. Joy shared with them was enough for them to feel secure enough, to feel proud enough, to feel able enough to stand up for what's right. And this is not, when I start looking at all the different people all over the world, and you're looking at the globe, our blue marble consists mainly of people of color. That's the truth. That's always been the truth. Why would you fear that? So unpack it. What is the fear? Because it's fear that's driving all of this. There's another quote that says, in wealth, fear is hidden. And there is a fear of always losing what you have. And what I look at when I see the world and when I see our young people, we have got to convince them, we have got to make them remember who they are, that this planet is comprised of all kinds of people. In fact, if you look in the foreseeable, just let's go 50 years ahead. No matter how far ahead you look, you're going to come up with a shade of brown. Do you hear me? There's no way it's not going to happen.
And that's what
and that's the fear.
Dr. Frances Cress Wesley talked about in the ISIS papers.
Wellsing absolutely did. She taught, and she brought a lot of trouble with that. And that's the fear of annihilation. Hence, you will not replace us, all of that. You're going, well, wait a minute, let's just do the scientific math. Not that people pay attention to what science is saying, but what we know scientifically is that human beings are essentially one human race. There is not enough difference, no matter what you look at, hair, features, none of that. None of that is enough to make us not all be part of one human reality, right? That is the truth. So it begs the question, how can you be replaced? Stay with me. There's no such thing as really replacing. We're all human. So what we're looking at is something extraordinarily superficial. Whiteness, right?